Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the M46 KR. This is the Tier 8, well, one of the Tier 8 American premium medium tanks, alongside the T26E4 Super Pershing, which I also own, and the T25 Pilot number 1, which I do not own because I own this, because, well, this thing is pretty much exactly the same as T25 Pilot, but overall I would say it's probably a bit better. I think it's got a faster reload. I think it's got the advantage in terms of power to weight ratio. The T25 Pilot, I think, has the advantage in terms of top speed and has a very similar turret. But I would say overall, I'd say this thing's probably the better tank, purely because it has the extra armor while also having the extra power to weight ratio, while also having, well, I think a slightly better rate of fire, but worse aiming time. I think that's really the main differences. That's just going off memory, by the way. So, first shot of the game into the Lorraine 40T, and that's 243 damage. Lorraine seems to want to hang around for a while, so let's take another shot at him. And it's kind of interesting to be fair that Lorraine 40T is like the first opponent I'm really going to meet in this game, because, well, if you think about it, that's also a Tier 8, premium medium tank. And if you think about it, that thing has like 40mm more pen. It has a 4-shot clip autoloader, and it has 60 extra alpha damage per shot. What's the gun depression on that thing, like 6 or 8? I can't remember. So that thing can do 6, wait, no, that thing can do 1200 damage in a clip. It has significantly more pen. I think it's actually got half decent aiming time and half decent unload speed as well. So that thing seems like probably like overall like the overall better tank, but it just has so little armor that everything can pen it, even with HE. Like, I think if I have loaded an a HE round, I probably could have pinned him in the rear. Like, 45 pin, I think the thing has like 30 or 40 armor. So, yeah, that was entirely possible. I just didn't think of it at the time, apparently. So, okay, actually, while there's a bit of a lull in the action, I'm going to quickly explain, like, why there was no video yesterday, and why, the video upload schedule for next week could be a little iffy, and take a huge shot from the Scorpion. That hurt a lot, and getting ammo racked in this tank doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it seems to only really be those massive caliber 128mm guns and above that really do it. So, why was there no video yesterday? There was no video yesterday was because if you've been paying attention to my channel for a while, you'll know I'm in the process of building a new computer. I ordered all the parts last weekend, and I'm waiting on the last 2 parts coming. And I was thinking that the last couple parts would come yesterday, but they didn't. So I actually spent most of the day sitting in the house, like just waiting, like to hear like the door knock or something, just waiting to see if the parts would come. But it looks like they're coming tomorrow instead of coming today. So that's a little annoying, but there's not really much I can do about it. So that was honestly the main reason. Like, I was just sitting there trying to find ways to occupy myself, because whenever I start making videos, I speak pretty loudly and I don't really hear things. In terms of like, it's very easy to like miss things when like people knocking the doors and stuff like that. There, it's very easy to miss stuff like that there. So yeah, so I've been trying to avoid recording just so I hear the door knocks and stuff like that there. I haven't had any emails about anything being returned to a warehouse or something like that there. So I'm assuming most of the stuff's still in the. The last 2 items are coming in the post sometime soon, or coming by courier at some point soon. So that's actually one thing that I've done a bit differently this time, building the computer rather than last time. Last time everything except I think one part came through post, whereas most of the components this time have come through special couriers and stuff like that there. So. And by the way, the reason why I rushed over here is because, well, if you think about it, we now have 3 tanks in very close vicinity to this WZ-111. So he now has to deal with 3 tanks from 3 different directions. I know that tank extremely well. I know, well, that was pretty unlucky, not gonna lie. I know that tank exceptionally well. I know all of its advantages and disadvantages. I know when I can pen the upper front plate and when I can't pen the upper front plate. It's one of my favorite tier 9s in the game right now. So yeah, I know it doesn't deal well with more than 1 tank at a time. So I figured I would make it more difficult for him to engage us, rather than having it just so that we're all sitting there coming at him one at a time. So I figured I would take the risk, and it paid off. So yeah. Let's see. So there's currently 4 of us right here, and I always forget how fast the T20 prototype is now, because it's actually like it's nearly doubled in terms of its speed. I mean, it went from 18 to I think like 28 kilometer an hour speed. Like it's just such a massive leap in terms of speed. Plus, its top speed prior to the buffs it got was like 14 because the engine power sucked. Like it had like yep, 6 shot into the back of the MX M4. When I say the engine power sucked, I mean it sucked. It was really really bad. And surprise, there's no artillery. And watch this here. Just watch what happens here. I rolled for 219 damage exactly twice in a row. And to finish off, ammo rack because why not? So they only have Jagdpanzer 100, T20 prototype, Object 268 and E75 remaining, and the Object 268 just died. So overall, this match is pretty much finished. There's not really much they can do, although this E75 does behave a little bit weirdly. You might be wondering, like, why am I not firing the premium round? Well, the premium round does have 243 pen. I actually thought it was 258, but I think I might be thinking of the Pershing itself. Standard round 192, like the premium round 243. The reason I'm not firing it is because at this point in time I was still grinding money for the WZ1321, the tier 10 Chinese light tank, which I do own at this point. I'm going to try and get some gameplay of that thing up relatively soon, and give my overall opinions of it from like the first, say 20 or so games I've had in that tank. So at this point in time, I was still granting credits and stuff in order to actually purchase the tank. So yeah, I'm very very reluctant to actually fire premium rounds because I know for a fact that um, when it comes to like 90mm premium rounds, like I think it's like 4,800 a shot or some shit. So yeah, it's not. It doesn't really make much sense to do that for to fire a premium round that costs that much. Whenever the standard round costs like 200 credits. It doesn't really make much sense to actually fire them if you're trying to make credits. If I was just trying to have as best games possible, then would have loaded them. I would have probably pinned the guy, and I probably would have done a lot more. Well, not a lot more damage. Probably would have done maybe like 400, maybe 500 more damage. But yeah, that wasn't really my goal in this game. So I'm not gonna lie, like that's like pretty much what goes on for the next minute or two is me just firing shots at long range at these guys because I didn't feel comfortable getting close because getting close with 390 health when all of those guys can one shot you. Nah, I figured it wasn't really worth the risk, so I didn't bother. So yeah, so this just basically shows off what the M46 KR is capable of. It's overall pretty much a Pershing, but with a smaller turret, more part to weight ratio, better part to weight ratio. So it's more able in terms of like keeping its speed when it's going up hills and just in general just maintaining its overall speed. It feels like it's able to react to stuff faster as well. And I think the rate of fire is a tiny amount better. Like, and when I say tiny amount, I mean like I think my reload on the Pershing was like 7.01 seconds. I think the reload on this is like 6.99. Just to give you just an idea of just how small the difference was in terms of the reload. Both with the 100% crew, rammer, vertical stabilizer, and coded optics. Um, that's just how small the difference was between the two vehicles. So yeah, this thing was not OP and is definitely still not OP. So yeah, this is one of in my opinion, this is one of the most fun tier 8s tier 8 premium mediums to play in the game because I liked the Pershing a lot, and the reason why I actually went ham to get the Pershing was because the first thing I actually got this thing the first time it ever went on sale. Purely because I was just looking at it, just going, I really like the look of that tank, I really like the model of it, and I went ham to get the Pershing unlocked, played a few games on it when I finally got upgraded, and decided, you know what, I like this thing, I'm gonna get the M46 KR, and I did, and haven't looked back because I really like this tank. Not everybody's gonna like this tank. I should just tell you that right now because it's not OP. It's pretty much just a Pershing, but slightly more engine power, worse aiming time, worse view range and stuff like that. There, it does have its weaknesses, does have its advantages, but overall, I'd say they balance each other out. And I would say this thing is probably just a tiny bit worse than the Pershing overall, um, due to the due to the worst view range and all. So yeah. So I'm just trying to think of anything else I really need to mention. So hopefully I'm able. I'm just gonna go back to the computer thing for a wee minute. Hopefully I'm able to get the new computer up and running sometime soon next week. Sometime next week I'm hopefully able to get 100% working, like all the settings and all sorted out, and hopefully we'll be able to start doing YouTube videos in maybe 60 FPS. We'll see how it goes, but I think the processing power of the computer should be more than enough in order to be able to cope with that there. So looking forward to that there. We'll see how it goes, and let's move on to the post-game stats. Okay, so this game was worth a first class mastery, and I got a Confederate medal, plus 89,681 credits with premium account. Without premium account, 59,787. And with daily double, without premium account, it would have been 2,364 XP and 3,546 XP with premium account. So, I was about to say, did I get any kills in that game? But then I just remembered, the artillery was like the last thing I shot, and I killed it. So, in terms of team score, I came top of the team. 2,350 damage total, which means I must have hit a blind shot at some point. Oh yeah, I must have hit the blind shot on the bulldog, if I had to guess. So yeah, that was top of the team in a tier 10 game. I don't think I mentioned that at all in the actual gameplay, but that was a tier 10 game, and that is part, like, honestly, games like this here where you're able to get top of your team whenever you're in a tier 8 vehicle, that is like that is where I get the most enjoyment out of World of Tanks. If I'm completely honest, like a lot of people will like. I don't know if the Object 416 was doing this here, but a lot of people will actually like go and just kill their tanks at the very start of the game because the matchmaking is not perfect for them. Um, the most ironic people who do that there are people who are in the best tanks. Like it's just like I had a T29 do that there. In a game where it was literally like just tier 9 medium tanks, not a single T54, just tier 9 medium tanks, and M46 Patton. I think a Centurion, 7-1, and I think a Leo PTA were the three tier 9s he was against. He was at a T29, and he killed himself because he was against tier 9s. People are getting fucking ridiculous. I'm not sure if this is something you guys are noticing or not, but why? This is a genuine question. Just why? I don't understand this. But yeah. So in terms of my ratio of hits and shots fired and all, I fired 26 shots, 21 direct hits, and 11 penetrations. So not exactly a great ratio in terms of the penetrations. 2,350 damage total, 739 from range. Received 3 hits, 2 penetrations, 1 non-penetration. Let's see, spotted 2 enemy vehicles. Damaged 7 enemy vehicles, destroyed 1. Let's see, anything else important to go over? Okay, so after like cost of ammo, repairing the vehicle, and the consumable costs, with the premium account it made 73,754 credits, and without premium account it would have been 43,860 credits. Okay, so there's about a 30k difference in the amount of profit I would have made if I had between premium account and non-premium account. So that just kind of shows you like the amount of difference a premium account can make to your overall profitability. So, well, especially in tier 8 premium vehicles, but that's actually an interesting thought. What do you guys actually think is the best non-overpowered tier 8 premium in the game? Like, when I say non-overpowered, I mean like I'm discounting stuff like the T26 E5, the MXM 449, the Object 252U, and the other one. I think there's another one, isn't there? That's 3. The Chrysler K, and what was the other one? I'm also going to discount the Scorpion G as well, I think, because I think that thing is right on the line. I feel like that's going to be the easy answer for leave that in there. But out of tanks like the Mutts, the M46 KR, and just those general tanks that they like something else to forget about is the IS-3A is a thing. Like that tank is still a thing. You just never see them, and there's a good reason for it. I mean, the Object 252 destroys the IS-3A. Like there was no point in the IS-3A even existing. Um, I mean, I remember people were going nuts about that tank, thinking it was overpowered, and then like it turned out to not be overpowered because the many people who bought it were just not very good at driving it. So it was really, really easy to kill. and people were complaining about it for a while, and then it was just basically disappeared off. Like I can't even think the last time I saw an AS3. I think most people must have traded theirs in because I just do not see those things at all. Hmm. But like out of tanks like the CDC, the M46 KR, the Super Pershing, like general tanks I got there, the FE4202, STA2, tanks like that. Let me know what you guys think is actually the best of them all. Also, I'm going to throw in stuff like the Lova, the T34, things got there as well. Like, which one do you think is the best? Personally, for me, it would either be the M46 KR or the Lova. And bizarrely, both of those tanks have 10 degrees of gun depression. Maybe like the extra flexibility in premium tanks makes them a bit more fun to play. But yeah. So just going to quickly just end this off by saying, if videos are a wee bit sparse next week, it's probably because I'm getting my new computer set up. Hopefully, after I get it set up and all, and everything's working correctly, and there's no real issues, hopefully I'll be able to start making videos, and hopefully I'll be able to start making more tanks videos in like 60 FPS and all. So definitely looking forward to that there. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys up to date on like how it's going, like like everything when it comes to details I got there. So for now, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.